Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to do a makeup look and I am going to try out the MCO Beauty or MCO Beauty products that I found from the warehouse. Now MCO Beauty is, I believe, an Australian brand and you can find this specific brand from Woolworths. Recently, this has launched at Warehouse, which is like a New Zealand version of Kmart. So I picked up a few products from the Just Peachy line, which I know came out last year, but then we recently just got it here in New Zealand. So I got the 5-piece brush set, which comes with a powder or blush brush, which is this one right here. I'm not gonna lie, this feels very cheap. And then we have the foundation brush, which is this one right here, which to me looks more like a bronzer brush and a blush brush. And then we have the blender brush, smudger brush, and the liner brush, which is a little bit too thick for it to be a liner, but this would be great for smudging out the eyeshadows. This brush set right here retails for $28. I also picked up the lip gloss and lipstick duo, and this one is in the shade Sweet Peach. So this comes in a kit, so you got the peachy gloss. I don't love the applicator because this is too stiff, but this is what the gloss looks like. It's a nice peachy tone. And then we have the lipstick, which is that one right there, which honestly I was hoping for it to be matte because of the packaging. It has that matte packaging to it, but when I swatch it, it's more of a satin finish. So I could pretty much get away with just this alone, or if I want a more glossy lips, I would go with just the lip gloss by itself. And this lip gloss lipstick kit retails for $12.58. And last but not the least, I pick up this Just Peachy eyeshadow palette. So this contains 20 matte and shimmer eyeshadows, and this is what it looks like. And I've already swatched this last night, that's why there's a few finger marks here and there, and I'm telling you, this is the best $12 I've spent in my entire life. The eyeshadows are very pigmented, very blendable, and honestly the quality of this eyeshadow for $12 is pretty amazing. The eyeshadow palette retails for $12.58. Now I've already applied my foundation and I've set a little bit under my eye. I don't honestly trust this foundation brush to apply my foundation because it's very flimsy for my liking, so I just did that off camera. So what I'm going to do is to actually use maybe this brush right here to set my face because I have not set the rest of my face, and this is supposed to be a powder blush. It's quite stiff for my liking, but I guess this would be good in applying powder. So I'm just gonna quickly dust off a translucent powder. I feel like this brush kind of took off a little bit of my foundation and it doesn't really set my face that much. I didn't want to swipe the powder because I feel like it already lifted the coverage that I have on the side with my eczema patch. So yeah, I don't love this brush for applying powder. I will have to apply my own bronzer because I did not buy the bronzer that they had because it's very shimmery. So I'm going to use this brush right here for the bronzer, and I feel like this is a perfect bronzer slash contour brush. And so far it's doing a great job in applying my bronzer if I do like a stipple motion. And I have to say, this brush is more practical and more functional than the powder slash blush brush. I feel like that type of brush would be great for maybe applying like a highlighter, so we will see about that. But for the most part, I'm mainly going to use this brush because I feel like this brush has got a good grip. It has the perfect bristles for you to apply the bronzer and the blush. Help me create like a nice line over there. I don't have any blush from the collection, so I'm only gonna pick up this shade right here from the palette. It's a little bit pigmented, so I'm gonna have to dab the excess. And the eyeshadow smells like artificial peaches, but that's a nice flush of peach. So I'm just gonna go over it with my very own bronzer brush. quickly gonna set my under eye with a translucent powder because I wasn't able to do that, mainly because of the brush not being the best brush to use. Maybe I'll use this shade. It's more golden than the shade right here, which has a little bit more pink to it. And these are the swatches. Honestly, they look so good. So I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to go back to this powder brush and use the tip to apply my highlight. This eyeshadow blends so smoothly. And yeah, that's a really good highlight right there. And this brush is great for applying the highlight. I'm quite happy with that. So now we're going to move on to the eyes. I will take this shade first and pick up this blender brush right here and apply that all over my lid. That shade is a little bit powdery and has a lot of kickback, so just be careful of that. That shade literally matched my skin tone, so you can't even tell that it's there. I'm going to pick up this peachy shade right here that I use for my blush and use that as a transition. So I'm going to use the same brush and buff that all over the crease. This brush is a little bit stiff, but I feel like this would be a great brush if you want to have a defined crease, because that stiffness will help you apply the shadow directly into the crease. And I'm just laying that peach shade all over the crease, bringing it up to almost the brow bone. And I'm going to apply a little bit in my lower lash line as well. To deepen that up a little bit, I am going to move on and use this shade right here, which is more of a terracotta orange. Oh, that is so pigmented. So I'm going to stamp that on the outer V and work my way into the crease, going towards the inner part of the eye. That shade was so pigmented, but because the eyeshadow brush that we're using is a little bit stiff, it kind of blends the eyeshadow too much. It looks somewhat terracotta orange on the pan, but once you blend it out, the undertone of it is coming out as a true orange. So now I am going to use this angled brush and I'm going to pick up this shade right here just to lay out our color, and then I'm going to use the same brush to blend. So I want to deepen out this area. It doesn't really apply it that much. Stamp that on this area right here. Warm orange, and I'm going to pick it up with the brush that we used before and just focus on the outer V. And since I don't have a blender brush, I'm just gonna quickly grab my own blender brush and go back to that peach transition shade that we used to blend everything. And then go back with this, oh, where's that brush? With this brush right here with that brown, and slowly build that up into the outer V. And then I am going to use this smudger brush right here, and I am going to pick up this orange again, and I'm going to drag that all over the lower lash line and start to smudge it. This brush is a little bit too hard for my under eye, and therefore it kind of hurts when I smudge the shadow. So I feel like this type of brush would be great to cut your crease or apply a shimmer. So I'm going to pick up this shade right here, which has a little bit more duochrome and it's a little bit sheer, and pop that on the lid. I feel like this brush doesn't really pick it up. I think I'm going to use my finger first. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to use a brush to apply the shadows over here to have that precise line. And then I'm going to pick up the orange shade once again just to blend these two together. And go back once again. And I'm going to go back to the eyeliner brush and I will pick up this darker brown, which is this one right here. And I am going to smudge that on my lash line, mainly on the outer part, and kind of create a wing. And once I'm happy with that, I am going to pick up this shade right here, which has a lot more pink, and I'm going to go back to that smudger brush, just clean it up a little bit and pick that up and pop that on the inner corner. And I'm going to quickly pop on my mascara. I'm not going to put any false lashes because I just can't be bothered, and I will catch you guys back to apply the lip. Here is my look with the lashes on. Honestly, I like it because it's a little bit flirty and fun. At the same time, it's a little bit natural and wearable. So onto the lips. I'm just going to quickly line my lips with my lip liner. We're going to start off with the lip gloss first and see what it looks like. Again, it has that artificial peach scent, and the applicator is very hard and stiff, which makes it a little bit harder to apply, but I'm actually not mad about the shade. It makes my lips look juicy, and here is the look with the lip gloss. So now I'm going to just blot this a little bit and apply the lipstick. It has a little bit of like a waxy feel to it, which I don't really like. The scent is the same as the lip gloss, which is that artificial peach, but this is what the lipstick looks like. I feel like personally I'd rather have the lip gloss, so I'm going to just put that on top. And here is the final makeup look. Overall, my thoughts, I really do enjoy MCO Beauty or MCO Beauty, however you pronounce the brand. The eyeshadow palette is so amazing. I've already swatched a few, but I will swatch a couple for you guys. Like, those are the mattes right there, and oh my god, they are so smooth to the touch, very buttery, and it's very pigmented, and the shimmers are out of this world. You wouldn't even think that this whole palette is only $12. So I will swatch this one right here that I used on my eyes, and then we have this like green bronzy shade, and then we have this like purple, and then the blue. Ooh, and that green as well. Oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. For the price you pay, I feel like this is a great eyeshadow palette, especially for beginners. Like, look how the pigment is showing up. For $12, I mean, this is a highly recommended eyeshadow palette, and this is available at the warehouse if you live in New Zealand. If you live in Australia, you can purchase the MCO Beauty from Woolworths, or you can just go straight to their website, and I think they ship international. For the brush, this whole set right here is quite pricey. It's $28, and I feel like there's only two that is worth your money, and I wish that they sold it individually. I would highly recommend this brush right here because you could use this for bronzer, for blush. You could even use this to set your face. I would not use this to apply foundation because the bristles is so flimsy, and I feel like it will just end up soaking all the product. This eyeshadow brush is a little bit stiff, but honestly it's quite nice to have because the stiffness allows you to pack on the to pack on the pigment as well as blend it at the same time. As you can see, I have like a very blended eye using this one brush. The rest, not so much. They're the least of my favorite, especially this one. Like, I get the shape is very different, but I was hoping it to be more softer, and yeah, it just doesn't apply product great. And for the lips, if I were to choose, I would go for the lip gloss instead of the lipstick, because at the end of the day, when you swatch it, both of them kind of look similar, except the lip gloss is a little bit more glossy, and I find that it complements me more and the eyeshadow palette as opposed to the lipstick. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.